Welcome, guys. Welcome. This is ChatTactic 27. I don't know if I updated the thing right. I think I did. Anyway, welcome along. I've got my flu back again, which is a pain in the bum. Not terribly bad, but just on the throat. So it's sort of just can't shake it. I think it's a different one actually. I think it's just a different iteration. So anyway, we'll see how we go. What we will be doing today is really just looking through, see what's being released, what's coming up. I've got a few things that I'm not allowed to talk about just yet, but that will then sort of, over the next week or so, I should be able to start to then talk about some of the things that are coming up for things that I'll be sort of involved in, which will be good, which will be good fun. But we'll talk about some things anyway. So just having a look at the Steam page. I haven't really had a good look to see what's been released or what's sort of coming out. So anyway, welcome, guys. If you've got any suggestions, anything you want to look at, just sing out, and I'll do my best to move across. Again, last week the key that we had for Battlestar Galactica. What am I thinking? For Gladius. Gladius is up for grabs again today. So we'll give that one away again today in the Marble run. Hi, Viren Games and CB. Hope you guys are doing well, and hope anyone else is doing well as well. If you are tuned in, or if you're watching this after it's finished being recorded. So anyway, let's just go through the bits and pieces. Looks like there's a PlayStation publisher sale on. No idea. That's not really going to impact me at all. Maybe it impacts you guys a little bit. I'll just have a quick look down through to see if there's anything in here. Maybe we'll just go straight to the library, actually. I'll just go to my normal library area and just go and have a look through on my normal Steam, my Steam app, rather than the Steam, the other bits and pieces. Actually, wanting to load up other things. Come on. Why are you doing this? If I go there again and click, is that going to... Yeah, there we go. It's gone now. All right, library. Let's have a look through and just sort of see what's actually up through here with the What's New button at the very, very top. So, actually, there is something I do want to mention. As of today, I think right now, actually, is Scramble, Battle of Britain. Grab this one. I might even play a little bit of it, just so you can sort of see what it brings, because it actually now is really, really exciting. So this probably would be this is only a demo, but you can see that there's like a demo. I've got a few different demos in here at the moment for Scramble. I might just do a search for it. I'll do it back on the other one. So Scramble, Battle for Britain. Is that going to come up? There we go. So just have a quick look at this one through here. Just make sure it is back up and running. It should have just come out literally today. And so it's not available yet. It will be today. Today is the day that this one does actually, the next version releases. So it's going to be, this is Tuesday, September 17th. That's today, like for me anyway. So I'll just have a quick look at this one through here. So we decided to announce the major update for the Scramble demo is out now. So it is saying it is available now. Maybe just refresh and see if you can grab it. This is an incredible game. I might just even play a little bit of it just so you can see what it does, because it does very, very well. Where have I put that one? There it is. So this is literally just a demo that's currently out. I did get it a few days early, but it's this is 0.07 is the actual demo for this particular one. High original intent. Is Scramble a roguelite style game? No, I don't know if you would call it that. You can certainly play it different ways. Scramble will be connected with different missions, different pilots. So you'll end up managing a group of pilots, but I don't know how random it will ultimately be. All we have at the moment is just literally the flight aspect of the game. And it will be, I think there's still a fair bit of development to go with the game, but the actual flight mechanics of the game is really, really cool. And what we now have is if you've played the previous one, like the flight mechanics haven't changed, but the actual the content is changing, which is really quite nice. So you've got like new challenges back and through here, for example. So what you can do now is you can actually play as a 109, like a Messerschmitt. So you can play as a Messerschmitt against Spitfires rather than the other way around. So like the traditional game was Spitfires fighting, you know, the 109s. That was really all you could do in the previous demo. In this demo, you now can play from the other side. And so that sort of all, and I wasn't sure if the game was going to be playable from both sides, but it looks like it now will be. You also then have another one, which is the 110s. And I'll play a little bit of this one because it doesn't take that long to play an actual mission out. And you do also have like random things you can play in through here as well. Hi Silbercol, how you going? And Michael. Saying hi, hello Daz and chat. It's Monday here. It's but the dates that show up are for my dates, which is Tuesday. So it should be up. I know it was coming today. Like, you know, in terms of when the announcement was made, they did, like, the announcement was for the Monday, which means my Tuesday. So anyway, let's just have a quick look and have a look. If we just go into this is a Spitfire versus an ME110, so an ME110 essentially. So let's just get started. Which is a much stronger aircraft than what we had seen before. Now, I did do a live stream for Slytherin actually on my Saturday, which was on the Friday, using this demo. It was good fun actually to see this much stronger aircraft than the 109s or the Spitfires. So, and it does also have a rear-facing gun as well. So makes the challenge a little bit more interesting. So the way it works, it's very, very simple to just use the actual controls with it. It's just right-click to look at the different angles. If you're wanting to get a bit of a feel for what's happening, actually I'll show you when we get into it. But this is the 109. If I just go and click on it, I can then have a look at this one as well. This one has got, as I said before, you can just see there a gunner at the back. So you've got a gunner at the back, gunner at the front, and a much stronger aircraft than the Messerschmitt, but just not as maneuverable. So sorry, not as maneuverable as the Spitfire, not the Messerschmitt. So anyway, let's just go through now. The way it sort of works is you just use the A and D keys, just literally goes through the left and right sort of area back and through there, and then the climb and dive can then be handled through the just through the W and S. So it's fairly simple to use. You can use joysticks and things. I'll just start to sort of spin around. So let's bring our throttle down to half. When you want to fire, you just either press Z or click on this one down through here, and then you're sort of done. So I'll just now press Enter, and then Enter again. This first one we really just want to just get set up. It will then start to now react to my movement. So even though it's showing that it's going forward, it doesn't mean that it will be. Now, when we get a black line like this, I'll just quickly explain what's actually showing. This is, when we go around, this is the G's putting pressure on our pilot. So so the pilot will then lose stamina and has a chance to black out. So I won't do too much of that. Maybe we'll cut our throttle completely, just so we can actually get more of a bend without too much gravity. So let's just do it through here. Maybe just go up a little bit. Okay, Enter and then Enter. It's now moving around as well, so it looks like we're going to be sort of facing each other. Right, now that we've sort of gone all the way around, I can now sort of spin fairly aggressively to start to line this one up. So let's just go and do that. Now I want to be sort of facing where this one is. We're losing our airspeed in through here. Hi Hugh David, how you going? And so we'll just go and press G, and that will then take us to the nose cone. We can sort of see there that we're going to be maybe just a little bit. Let's just go to where we think it's going to be sort of lining up. So somewhere in around there, and we'll leave it there. So that will be sort of where we think the aircraft will be. All right, Enter. Now we'll put the throttle right up. Yep, so we're now sort of getting it lined up. Let's go full throttle and see if we can actually sort of now maneuver this. You know, it's quite difficult to get exactly what you want. In this instance, we're going to not dive. We'll just see if we can start to spin around a little bit through here. Enter, enter. We may not have enough airspeed now. And now we want to sort of spin back around. Now, when we see little yellow lines, if I press G again and just go to the nose cone and just try to line it up where we think it's going to sort of, where we might get a shot, there may be some, I noticed there was like a little bit of a yellow that we did see there at one point. Maybe I won't do too much with this. What I'll do is I'll just leave it so that we're sort of coming in where we think the aircraft is going to end up being. And we may then have to sort of spin back around. So if we just press G again, we just go back to this part of the craft. Enter, enter. Now, will it use its tail gunner? Well, not tail gunner, but the rear gunner. And it's looking like it's going to be starting to try to come back up. Yeah, we get some shots in through here if we sort of set this thing up a bit better. Like if we sort of move it down. Yeah, see that one there is showing that it thinks we're going to get some shots in on the actual aircraft. I've got to be careful that I don't collide with it. So I don't want to be sort of smashing all the way through. If I press G here, that's essentially a collision that we would then sort of fly through the enemy aircraft. So I'll try not to have the collision, but I'll try to get close. And I'll now sort of turn on. So we're going to be trying to do some damage here if we can. Let's just see how we go. But that hopefully will avoid the actual collision. So we'll now turn Z on, and or Z if you're American, and that will then highlight the ammo. So we're going to start firing through this particular shot. It looks like they've actually got some areas where their Gs are going to be fairly strong at this point in time. Just press G back again here again. Just press Enter, and then enter again. Whoa, we only just missed the actual collision there. It came around a lot far, and we may still hit the tail of this. So we actually managed to get our shots in, and we did critical damage to its left aileron. So what we'll see there is that its aileron that's the aileron there that's been blasted off. So we've been able to actually do, and it's got critical damage on its left wing as well. We'll have a look at the end of the, like we can actually go back and replay, review the last turn by pressing backspace. But let's actually just keep on going. So we've got a few different things. That's sort of where the shots came in. Like we can sort of see where the bullets actually did hit. But let's see if we can get out of here. I don't know if we're going to miss the tail. Hopefully we will. I'll just put it down to half throttle, and I really can't do much. I'm already as far over on the left-hand side as I can. So we'll just go and, yeah, it's not going to help us all that much. Oh yeah, we missed. That's fine. So that's the aileron flying away. Now we want to spin back around. I'll put some G forces on, just as we try to sort of get in behind this thing now. So we'll sort of spin back around. We'll take it. We've got a fair bit of stamina there, so we can sort of possibly do this. We're still only at half throttle. We'll see these black dots appear when the Gs are taking effect. So we don't want to do it for too long. So we'll just try to sort of ease out of this one a little bit now and just get ready to spin around. So I'm just trying to sort of just feather the Gs back out of this. There we go. We're out of it. If you end up blacking out, you only get like a small screen in here, and you've got no control over your plane. Let's just move this one around. That's yeah, it looks like it's diving actually. Looks like it's sort of in a position where it's diving, but we're now heading into the sun, so we don't have clear vision. it's actually now left the combat. I think it leaves the combat too early, like when it does do that sort of stuff. It should stay in longer. But anyway, that sort of gives you a bit of a feel of how it then plays. And this is actually just playing the whole replay, showing actually what happened. But it essentially escapes, but it escapes too early. It's happened a few times for this. So it's coming in. We then fire now. And we blow the aileron off. And then we get too far away from it. But so the game does need to be, staying closer than what it does. But it sort of disappears off where it actually is. So it's actually it's a really cool game. It's a WeGo type system, just for, I think it's like 5 or 10 seconds per phase. But it's quite nice the way it sort of does work. In that case, we got a fairly good result. But it's a fun game to play. It's fairly quick. I'll just quit out to the menu. And we'll just return and get back out of there. But you've got things like random matches you can play as well. So if you are interested, the demo should be available. Variant Games are saying looks very interesting. Will the campaign be like the company style, where you are leveling up your pilots and have a squad? I believe it will, but I don't know much about that side of things. I've only been able to actually really get my hands on this demo essentially, and then just from what I can glean from the messaging that they give out through Slytherin. But I know that there will be pilot management. So I'm guessing you're going to have aces and things like that as well. So so there we go with Scramble, Battle of Britain. Great little game. All right, so we'll put it out to the desktop, and that's going to be a free demo available pretty much as of now. So definitely give that one a have a look at that one through there. So Variant Games is saying I meant XCOM style. Not really. It doesn't have the double thing, but you are literally, it's just a WeGo type system. The closest game I can think of it is actually Battlestar Galactica with its combat. It's sort of quite similar to that, but this is really quite nice the way it does work. There's things like that you can luff the engine and have all sorts of things happen. It looks like there's going to be a lot of variance between the different craft as well, which is going to be great. So looking forward to when they bring the big bombers in and stuff like that as well. So I'm enjoying the development immensely of Scramble. I thought it was going to be very simplistic, and I know that when I was playing it, it looked simplistic, but it actually can be quite difficult when you get into a dogfight in terms of, not in terms of trying to, okay, let's set this up. When I like flight simulators, I've always enjoyed like Battle of Britain style games. I do enjoy that era as well. So I've sort of got a natural attraction to Battle of Britain type games. In fact, to put that into perspective, back in the early 90s, I was on the fence about getting a personal computer, and I had access to a Battle of Britain game at that stage, and that was the thing that then sort of got me over the edge in terms of committing to buy a PC. I was using Macs at that stage. But the Battle of Britain game that I could grab basically was one that I really enjoyed it and played it a hell of a lot. But I find with normal flight simulators, you lose track of where the enemy craft are and where things are going. So I really like this system of the WeGo system, because it means you can stop, have a look around, plan, and then execute, which I really quite like a hell of a lot actually, which is really quite nice. So anyway, for me, I'm loving where Scramble Battle of Britain is heading. I do hope that they have. I'm not sure how they're going to handle the pilot management, or whether you'll just be like a squad, or what that will end up being. One of the questions that I got when I was live streaming it was how many aircraft can you control, and luckily we had one of the devs was actually in answering a lot of the questions, and for them they found that 6 was way too many, and so even though you can have 6 enemy, you can actually they found that 4 was probably the most you really can comfortably sort of look after. 6 they could do, and I don't know if they'll actually have that in the actual final game. For me personally, 2 is the limit. I don't like playing with more than 2 aircraft that I'm controlling. But yeah, it's so you can sort of certainly flesh it out. It's not just a 1 versus 1 type thing. It's not just, you're not just controlling craft. You actually are controlling a squad, a small squad of craft. So that'll be interesting, and I don't know how it'll then happen with other fights going on around you as well, like in the full-on Battle of Britain type engagement. So it should be interesting, but I think it'll just be like almost like fighter wings would possibly be the most that you'd be then controlling, I think, in the final game. But I'm just really not sure how that will sort of be handled. But it is heading in a good direction. Hi Chris, how you going? And Jerry's saying originally was on the border about Age of Wonders 4, but gave it another shot, and it came up my favourite game along with Shadow Empire. There we go. A conversion. Anyway, Age of Wonders 4 is a great game. It really is. Shadow Empire as well. We'll talk about that because it's just had another update. So we'll have a look at, and I haven't looked to see what that one actually is. Jerry's saying played Field of Glory Kingdom a little, and something about this this game pulls me back. Thoughts. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Sorry. David Anderson saying, is it like Sid Meier's Ace Patrol? God, it's been a long time since I played that. I forget how to play it, to be honest. I can't remember how Ace Patrol works. I think Ace Patrol had a similar sort of simple system in terms of the way it sort of operated, but I can't remember. I can't remember what Ace Patrol was like for the control, to be honest. I know that I was happier with the flight sims than Ace Patrol. Like Ace Patrol wasn't something that I really got into because the flight simulators were more grabbing my attention. But Scramble certainly for me is the one that now I enjoy the most in terms of the combat mechanics. Jerry's saying, do you know if ZEPHON will have a demo available? I got into Gladius and having a blast. Yes, and if it's not up anyway, I've actually got like I've got the ZEPHON demo right here actually. So I can play it anytime I like. But this is like a special version. I've got a special demo version but I thought that it did actually have one. I thought it, so I'm not 100% sure. I'll just have a quick look and see. Because it should do, but that's been pushed back a little bit. But no, I'm not seeing it there. That's interesting. I'll just go to the store page. Just pause that for a second. Well, that's interesting. The demo, there's no demo there at the moment. They do bring them out. They bring them out at different milestones. And I know that the game has been pushed back to Q4. It was going to be coming out around now, basically. So it has been pushed back a little bit. I haven't played it for a little while, but that's. But I do actually have the demo that I can play. If we go to the community hub. And if we look at the news, because it really should have... Yeah, so they've decided to move ZEPHON's release back from Q3 to Q4. If we have a look at the news, it should then show when they've had demos. Yeah, so this is ZEPHON Demo 9. Looks to be the last one. And that was in July. So the last 9th playable demo of ZEPHON would be available from July 18th to July 29th. So that was a little time ago. There was no big changes in this demo. It's meant for the one final round of testing and feedback. Oh, okay. Looks like that was the final demo. So I guess I'm just lucky. I've just got the I've got the current where the current demo ended up. I can still play it. So, but it looks like that's the final one. Just from what they're sort of saying there, they may bring out another one. Who knows? If they've pushed it back. Because that was like 2 weeks later, they then put the Q4 back. They may have a demo 10. I'm not sure. Not sure if that's the case. But it's. Chris is then saying ZEPHON has a demo. I have it. Looking good so far. I don't know if it's. Well, maybe it's. Is it? I don't know if it's playable. I'm not sure. I haven't actually. I haven't tried firing it up for a little while. It does take a little while to load up, so I won't try it here. But I thought like a. Yeah, I would almost expect that there will be a demo before release at some point, but I'm not sure when the release actually is. So anyway, that's ZEPHON. Now what did we get up to? Hi, Bibicus, how you going? Sorry, I missed a few comments up there, I think. Yeah, so Viren Games did say looks very interesting. Will the campaign be like the company style where you're leveling up your pilots and having a squad? That's my understanding for Squadron Battle of Britain. So where are we? So we've got just reading a little bit more in through there. Viren Games saying yes, maybe you can control 3 and rest can be AI allies or something like that. Yeah, I don't know how that will work. I'm not exactly sure. I know that in the random game you end up just with an actual meeting engagement with different sorts of forces, but you can be fairly big. Like you can actually end up with quite a large engagement, which can take a fair bit of time. 1 versus 1 for me is really quite fun to play, and 2 is okay, but then for me it just starts to become a little bit trying to figure out where everything actually is after that. But anyway, it'd be interesting to sort of see how they do handle all of that sort of stuff. All right, let's go back to our library. I'll just go back into my actual Steam release. Actually, this is it here. I had the wrong one open. So, where did we get to? We got to Scramble. DF hack. So I've got to go back and check out Dwarf Fortress because they have been releasing more information. So highlights idle crafting, room reservations. Yeah, there's nothing much that's happening with DF hack at this stage. Certainly the stuff I'm looking for has not come into the game yet. I still don't know if Dwarf Fortress has actually fixed up the door system, which is for me really critical. Like it's really important that the door smashers, the Forgotten Beast, can actually break open doors. But it's I don't know if that's in the game at the moment. So it's turned me off a little bit from playing Dwarf Fortress because it's very easy now to secure a fortress, and I do hope that they get back and sort of make it really hard again. All right, then we've got a devlog. I haven't read this one actually. This is for Return of the Shakturi. The Return of the Shakturi comes out in about a month's time. Chris is saying also must commend you on the Dune Spice Wars videos. Very informative. I'm really enjoying it. Great little hybrid 4X games in the Dune universe. There's a couple of great games in the Dune universe actually. There's the Spice Wars, but there's also Imperium, and Imperium is more of a board game. That's really cool as well. They're both great games. So, but Imperium is sort of one of those things. It really is a very faithful adaptation of the board game, and I've actually recommended the board game to people based on the computer game, just based on feedback. And people who have actually bought the board game, the feedback back to me has been, yeah, it's incredible as a board game. So and the computer game is very, very faithful to that. It's a great game, Imperium, as well. So if you like, Spice Wars is very different. That's very much a strategy game. But Imperium is if you like into board games, there's that one as well. If you do like the Dune universe. Right, so I might have a look at this one here, just see what this one does say. How big is it? It's fairly big. It's mainly this one looks like it's mainly talking about the actual. I might just skim past some of this, and we'll maybe just have a bit of a look and see what it's got. First of 3 developer blogs. Yep, the Shakturi, an ancient terrible threat. Let's not worry about that one. Along with those I searched well, there was even a single ancient but non-functioning mortal and planet destroyer. I can show you one of those. In the current game that we were live streaming just a couple of days ago, we ended up finding one of these. With Return of the Shakturi, you now get the experience from a proper end-game crisis in Distant Worlds 2. So this is actually, what's interesting about this is that you do end up having the end-game crisis. I really play through to the end game. So even in Distant Worlds 1, I never got to really fight the Shakturi because I never played that long. I always just sort of played to a state that I was sort of happy with. Crisis begins with a gradual build-up. Blah blah blah. All of these are limited by the psychic energy. Yeah, I just wonder if it's telling us the other bits and pieces. More just telling us about who the Shakturi actually are. I'll skim past this one here. The humans, planet destroyer of the super mass driver weapon. So there are these planet destroyers. I might open it up actually. This is the mortal and planet destroyer of the super mass driver weapon. It looks like everyone's now going to have these these mega ships, which is really cool. So that's going to be interesting as well. Just the way it comes back through. Boscara Planet Destroyer with Super Firestorm torpedo weapon. Yeah, this is great. Okay, I didn't realise that all of them are going to be opened up like this. This is new for me. So the next one is, the next blog we'll talk more about the outpost. That's what I'm really interested in, to be honest. The new multi-empire alliances and the space-based start option for your civilization. That for me is the most interesting thing, because that's early game stuff. And that's really where I play the game more than anything. So I am looking forward to this release. It sounds amazing, but that's we will cover that one in detail when that one does come through. But this is coming out for me on October the 24th, which should mean October the 20. Hang on, how's that work? It goes backwards. October the 23rd should be the actual release date, I think. So it's showing my time frame there, I think. So that's it's coming up in a month and a bit. But yeah, I sure won't open up the game. But I mean, it's an amazing game, Distant Worlds. It deserves so much more than what it actually does, than what the score presents. It's just so incredible, just the way it sort of works as a simulation. Anyway, that's coming very, very soon. They've been putting a lot of effort into this. I gave a little bit of feedback on the current stable version, but they probably won't have time to even look at it, I don't think. But that is something that's really is coming through thick and fast. So we'll look forward to those other devlogs or dev blogs and see what they sort of say. But I'm most interested about the outposts and these other features, really, that will be part of the next one. But I didn't realise that they were going to have super weapons for everyone, which is going to be great. All right, so just reading a few more in through there. So Biba saying, yes, have you had another look at Astronauts? It's nearing a 1.0 release, and I think Kit Fox Games has taken it under their wing. I haven't. I don't even, have I got it? Astronauts. I can't remember it. No, I haven't. I don't have it. I haven't looked at it. So I think I do remember maybe we looked at it in one ChatTactic some time ago. We'll have a look actually we might as well have a look now, I guess. We'll just go and just go back to the Steam version here. Yeah, that one rings a bell. Yeah, it says mostly positive at 77%. I don't think I was all that wrapped in what I saw from when I did have a look at it. Yeah, it's Kid Fox Games are actually looking after it. Maybe I'll make contact. I'll put that on my list. And just see if I can see what it's about. I don't know much about the game at all. Look, I'll give it a go and see what it does bring, and see how we go with that one. So all right, thanks for that. I'll check it out. What did we get up to? So Chris is sort of saying the Shakturi kind of shadow race from Babylon 5. They're their own lore, basically, within the Distant Worlds universe. They're essentially like an evil bug empire that comes through, and they're sort of closely aligned with the Gizarians, so they sort of end up being sort of like part of those, but all the bug races sort of support them, so it ends up being a something where they try to take over the galaxy and sort of eat up the galaxy. Chris is saying multi-empire alliances sounds like federations from Stellaris. It does sound like a federation style thing, yes. Shadows like a spider race. The Shakturi are kind of like wood lice, said Bubo. Radagar saying some are super. Some are just super caps and don't blow up planets too. Okay.
But she's my death
So
trap.
I've got
And my ticket out of a life of corporate servitude.
I'll just change that. There we are. Thinking, what's going on? Who's talking? All right, so then we've got, what's your favourite playstyle in Age of Wonders, says Joshua. My favourite at the moment is just to play completely random and see what we get. That's actually, I really enjoy that, to see how you can sort of survive using the new, the newish, mechanics with the random realms and the random factions. I really like what they've done with that a hell of a lot. Radigar saying astronauts is neat. Okay, look, I'll chase up Kid Fox and see what can happen with that one there. But yeah, favourite playstyle in Age of Wonders 4, literally for me, is now just completely random and see what we end up with getting, and including the factions as well. Like in my head, I sort of think, okay, pick a random realm because you don't know what that's going to be, and then pick 10 factions and choose the one that you want to go into that realm with. I'll show you what I mean, like, because it's actually it's not hard to sort of start up that way. If I go into Age of Wonders 4, it's I find this, like, it's so interesting because there's so many different ways you can now play the game. Like, and I think that's what Age of Wonders, when you first start playing it, you do want to play one style of game all the way through, like until you get used to it. But once you get used to it, then having the option to be able to play randomly like this is really amazingly good. Like, it's phenomenal, really, what they've been able to put with it. Just wait for it to load in. It's taking a bit of time. I did, it's the first time you sort of load it in after a while, it does sort of take some time. Here we go. And then we should be in. But this is an incredible game, what they've done, what they've been able to do with Age of Wonders 4. It's a work of art, work of genius. It really is amazing. It's definitely my favourite series of games of all time, and I've got to say Age of Wonders 4 is probably my favourite game at the moment as well. I just absolutely love it. It's just what they've been able to do with it. It's and the actual combat is the tactical combat is just so pure. It's just fantastic. Joshua saying, been enjoying Reader's roleplay as a Warhammer 40k faction. Oh, okay. He's just looking before at the most popular strategy games, turn-based strategy games, and Total War. The Warhammer Total War is actually still number 2. So Civ 6 is number 1, but number 2 is still the old Warhammer. It's still great. Doing Reavers, Reavers or Readers. I've been enjoying Reavers role playing as. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you meant you were reading after action reports from people. I completely missed that one. God, this is taking forever to load in. Come on, Triumph. We don't need to look at your screen for too long. Is that crash? No, it just takes a long time to load in all of the assets. There's a few games like that. ZEPHON, I thought that Age of Wonders was faster than this, and I always get bitten when I'm doing something live like this because it takes a long time. Gladius is another one of these games that takes forever to load in with all the mods, and I do have a few mods now installed with Age of Wonders 4, but the nothing that really changes the actual base game, but it does change the graphics and things a little bit. But not that would be slowing it down too much. But then ZEPHON as well is one of those games that takes a long time to load in the demo of that one as well, just with all the different assets. I think what they do is because they want the game to be moddable, everything is sort of packaged up in a very open way, which means that it almost has to be compiled every time you play it. When it brings in the different assets, it has to sort of reference them all, just so that they can be modded. And that's the same with Gladius as well. Gladius uses a lot of JSON files, for example, for controlling nearly everything, and so it's sort of constructed, referencing all those. And actually, Age of Wonders 4 is very, very similar in that sense. Here we go. Here we go. We're in. Nearly. We're nearly in. Oh, come on, game. Yeah, I sort of forget how long the first time takes to load, that then, you know, if you then load it in later, it's seconds. It's pretty quick. So Chris is saying, in what respect does the mods change the graphics? In my sense, I've got things that add extra colors. I've got things that unlock certain of the old graphics, like it was in the game, like the when the game first released, like Age of Wonders 4, it actually did come in with. I'll just see if I can get the list. Actually, I think it shows up somewhere in here. Maybe it doesn't. I think you got to do that outside before you start, actually. Or is it in here? I don't think settings will then show the mods. But anyway, I'll just show the start. So my favourite start in this game now is to go to New Game.
Choose your destination.
And then just go to Unknown Realm, which is a mysterious realm, clouded, so you don't know what that's going to be. So all of these are then unknown. And then just basically go next. And then just go random faction. And what I like about what they've done with this is that if you then go and re-roll the factions, and if I re-roll it 10 times, or even just, you know, a handful of times, you then end up with where you can go back and have a look at every single one of them that you rolled. So you can go back and figure out which one you want to then go and play as. So these are halflings, for example. So we've got some dreaded halflings in through here. These are Molken, so these are moles. We've got Desolate Adaptation in this instance. Tome of the Horde in through here. These are Sirens. This is one of the newer factions. Ritual Cannibals, Bannerlords. So that's actually, this is a dark playthrough. Let's just play as them as an example. But you don't, like by playing this way, you don't get stuck just playing a particular way. So when you actually get used to the game, this is a great way to then extend how you then play it. So without really knowing, like Tome of the Horde, some of these things are not things that you would normally pick. And so if we just go back in and click on the tick, they'll then go into that realm which we know nothing about. So we're going into a realm with it could be anything in there. We've got no idea. So it's a really good way to randomize the game, and then to play with a challenge with a faction that you're just not familiar with. And yeah, it sort of stretches you a bit actually, which is great. So yeah, it's just really quite nice. So now as we come in, we may discover aspects, like we're seeing lava, for example. Just leave those where they are. We're not seeing anything else in through here. Normally, once we discover something about the world, it will then actually give us information actually about it there. So we've got that there. What's up there? Somehow we know this one. Normally it would tell us if, like, the fact that there's a another city there that we're actually aware of. Hello Hall. Gloom Hollow back in through there. I mean, if I just send one of the, I'll just send the scout out. Send it down the other way. Yeah, we're not seeing much else there. It's not really sort of showing me, but it will then start to show the realm and start to sort of indicate what's happening with the realm. Looks like we don't have very much strength at this early stage. I'll just get back up this way for a second. Anyway, I won't keep on playing, but that's but it's a fun way to play the game. It really is quite different. So Chris is saying what I love about Age of Wonders 4 is tactical battles. Yeah, as a chess fiend, I really resonate with the tactics and strategy needed. Yes, it's very, very pure. You make one little mistake, and like chess, it can really punish you. Anyway, Age of Wonders 4, great game. I'll just exit the game. We'll exit back to the. We'll just exit completely. But yeah, it's an awesome game, Age of Wonders 4. Really, really enjoying that one a hell of a lot. Let's go back into our list. So we got to that one. Stellaris keeps on bringing out new things all the time. Mechabellum, playing the Mechabellum 1.0 release tournament. So Mechabellum is releasing soon. The game will be fully released on September 26th. Maybe we'll just have a quick look at the news for that one there. is almost here. The game will fully release on September 26th. We'd like to celebrate with you. For that reason, Paradox Arc and Game River are sponsoring a special launch Clash tournament. So, yep, so 32 players, $1,000 prize pool. Wow. Okay, so, yes, there's different prize purses back and through there. The thing I'm most interested in are how they're going to change the game at launch. And it was going to become a free game at that point back in earlier information, but I don't know if it still is. This is an incredible auto battler, like really amazingly good. If you just go to the community hub and just see if they're still going to be doing that. Discussions. Okay, people are saying it's definitely not ready for version 1.0. From my perspective, this limited amount I have played it, I think it's fantastic. Maybe they're not going to do the free thing anymore. That may not be a thing anymore, actually. It may just be that they just keep on going the way that they're going. It's become quite a popular game. Yeah, nothing there. Nothing. Normally there'd be people complaining about it or supporting it in the chat, but they're not. And you can see there, it's like it's reasonable in terms of the number of people, sort of commenting within 24 hours for a strategy game. So that's Mechabellum. I'll just go back out to the library again. Then we've got the evolution of Crown Wars, a game transformed by your feedback. That's cool. Actually, this is a fun game to play. I won't talk much about it though. Terra Randoma. I did get the key for this one. I do mean to have a bit of a look at this one. It looks interesting. It's sort of like a random combat style game, but it's not like it's a single developer, so it's not really all that polished. Like when you compare it to other sorts of games in the same genre, I guess. But I did mean to have a bit of a look at it. It did look interesting. Terra Randoma. We Were About to Die. I think we looked at that one. Yes, last week, just very, very briefly. Hex of Steel. I do mean to come back and have another look at this one here. This game just keeps on developing all the time. Diplomacy is not an option. Has I think that's just gone through its actual release recently, and I haven't played that one for a long time. Norland I have to get in and play. That sounds amazing actually with Norland. I've played it very, very briefly, but not anywhere near long enough. Josh was saying, thanks for that, Daz. And Radigar saying, just like how cheaty the AI is outside the battles. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Actually, if you mean Age of Wonders, I don't find it that way, to be honest. Have you tried Kingdom, Dungeon and Heroes, says Pacer. I haven't, but actually Battle Mode sent me a message saying that that's actually now got a random, there is a way to play random maps in that. And I do mean to have a look at that, but I haven't looked at that for a long time. Like it's sort of one of those things. Radigar saying that he enjoyed Kingdom, Dungeon and Hero. I didn't like it much when I played it. And whenever I talk to Battle Mode, he really loves it. So it's sort of one of those things. I think I'm just approaching it the wrong way, maybe. It's the combat. I think that's the thing that sort of, from what I remember of playing it, that I don't really love. But from what Battle Mode had said, like it's one of those things that I really do need to have another look at, I think, because he certainly was saying that with the new random maps and stuff like that, it's certainly worth having a look at again to see if I can get to enjoy it. I just didn't love it. What happened to Fortress Fridays? I think it was just lack of interest. Often when I start doing something, if I don't get the views, I really like for when I'm trying to sort of keep the channel fairly healthy, I've got to be careful what I put up. And so that was unfortunately going to be something that I would love to do it, but it just was one of those things where I think time got away from me and so on and so forth. It's been a long time since I've done a Dwarf Fortress run. And maybe I should look at that, bringing something like that back again, just as the game sort of gets closer again with its development. Not sure. I'll have to think about that one. I was planning on doing that like regularly, and I just never got there. So Pacer is saying I was really on the fence about it. You mean Kingdom, Dungeon and Hero? I haven't enjoyed it, but Battle Mode has, and I do need to go and have a look at that one again. Don't Starve Together. I won't worry about that one through there. There's another update, Depths of Duplicity, Deep in the Caves. I haven't looked at that one for a long period of time. Steam Families, no idea. Oh, that's okay. That must be if you've got families. We have to announce Steam Families is now available for all users. Steam Families is a collection of new and exciting family-related... Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We won't worry about that one. Battle Sector, new tournament for Battle Sector. There's always tournaments on Slytherin with their games. Now, Field of Glory Kingdoms. This is actually... I will be playing Field of Glory Kingdoms in a week or two, actually, as part of this ongoing Lens snapshots that they're putting together. These are quite interesting, actually, and I had a sneak peek at some of these like a few weeks ago. When, like, you know, that Slytherin sort of showed me what they were working on. It's quite interesting. If you're into history, it's a bit like what they did with Rule of Waves 3, you know, going through specifically very, very curated videos about different things. And in this case, they've got a historian, Claire Keenan, to come in and start to talk about different aspects in this first group. They're going to be putting a lot of these out, and they're good videos. They're only like 2 minutes, so it doesn't take very, very long. And they just go through a bit of an overview, not of the game at all, but actually just of the medieval times. So if you're into history, I would highly recommend these curated little videos, these 2-minute videos that they're going to be putting out. So this first one is about medieval medicine and medicine and astrology in the Middle Ages. And so even though it's put out by Slytherin, it's actually just setting the scene essentially for Field of Glory Kingdoms essentially. So yeah, these are pretty cool. So you may want to have a bit of a look at that one through there. It's doesn't have very many views at this stage, but it's something that I mean, when I saw the ones that they had put together, and you know, even this first one as well that they've actually released, I was really inspired by it in terms of the of getting a deeper understanding of playing games like Field of Glory Kingdoms. It certainly colours the medieval era in a really interesting way, and she's pretty engaging as a historian. Like often you get historians that don't present things all that well, but she does. I've never heard of her before, so Claire Keenan. But there was another lady that I saw as well that did a video or a series maybe 6 months ago or a year ago. I forget who she did it for, but she did she was a historian as well, and put together like a video on questions that people had about the Middle Ages. That was actually worth watching as well, but I can't remember what it was called. This reminds me very much of that sort of style, and I can't think of who she was. Sorry, the other lady. Anyway, that's in there. I will be playing Field of Glory Kingdoms when these snapshots sort of finish off their first little mini series. I'll be putting together a live stream. I'll be doing a live stream essentially of the game, trying to focus on those. So that's actually something I'll be doing with Slytherin. So that will be fun. Looking forward to that. So yeah, Field of Glory Kingdoms is one of these games where it's a lot deeper than what the game appears. So when you actually do start to play it, there's a lot involved in what's going on that you don't really... It's not really exposed to you in a direct way, but there's a lot of nuance. It looks simplistic to a large degree. So high availability. How are you going? And Grimnar. So Tenra is saying, did you read the latest Shadow Empire patch notes? No, I haven't yet. We haven't got to that one yet. Yeah, but because it's saying all random maps in KDH, I should go back to it. I played through the standard map a few times. Yeah, I forget where it is, actually. I'll see if I can find how to do that. I might just open that up, because that doesn't take very long to open up. That should be in here, I think, somewhere. In this little list. This little list that is quite long. Did I go past it? Maybe I went past it. I'm skimming it. It wouldn't be under medieval, I don't think. I don't know where I've put it. Maybe I had it under try. Maybe I just never got to it. There it is. Kingdom Dungeon Hero. Oh, it's downloading content. Damn it. Oh, it won't take too long. We'll open it up and see if we can find the random maps. Okay, so Gorex is saying, what do you think of Tactical Breach Wizards? Thinking about playing it. I did actually try to approach the developer, but never heard back. So I haven't tried the game. The thing I like the idea of the game because I like the games that the developer makes a lot. But the thing with that, it's a puzzle game. So you are going through curated areas all the time. I wonder why devs put big white screens like this on their games. A few devs do this, and it's sort of, I'm thinking, just keep it black. We're gamers. We're not used to the light. We're used to being in our basements playing games. Now, where was it? We got a new game. It's one of these. No, it's not those. Damn it. This isn't it. Can we just go back out? Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe there's something different. Like from what Battle Mode had told me, he said that there was a campaign game that you had to start with that was a random map, and I can't see it there. So I am not thinking it's Earth Magica. No, I don't think this is it. No. Yeah, there should be another one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Anyway, we'll just quit out of it. I thought I'd be able to find it. It was I forget what it was called, but there was actually a different one through there. So let's go back through the Shadow. Let's have a look at the Shadow Empire patch notes. Just have a quick look at that, at what they are, because that one just has been upgraded. Shadow Empire, here we go. I love seeing that this has, got like really very positive review scores. It's it deserves it. That's from back in June. Let's have a quick look at the community hub. Back and through here. I don't think it'll be under news. It's usually just under discussions. So housing tech added, social housing, worker apartments. Okay, so this just helps with the workers. Nothing too interesting there. So core logistics was getting very slow once an empire got large. Yeah, nothing that's really sort of leaping out at me. Then we go back into the previous ones, back in through there. In fact, that's the current one with the housing. So housing added to Shadow Empire. That's what we can sort of see there. So we'll leave that one there. Now I'm okay. So where did we get up to? So Pacer is saying, I was sad to hear that Solium Infernum guys going into maintenance mode. Basically, never seen a company return from doing contract work to keep the lights on. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a worry. I think that they've been in trouble for some time. Solium Infernum should be a pretty good game for them, and I think what will end up happening is it will go back to a skeleton crew, maybe one or two people, just sort of keeping the game going. I hope that they do. But yeah, I don't know much about the reasons why. But it is a shame because I thought it was a fairly successful launch of the game, to be honest. But I think that whatever it was that was the problem probably was deeper than what we realise. So Tiger Russ is saying, "Oops, don't highlight my comment." Too late. Sorry. Okay, so Sedgehammer is saying, I'm interested in Feudal Glory Kingdoms. Yeah, that's an amazingly good game. Like it's in terms of just the of what it does. Like the thing that's interesting about the game is that you can play any size faction, and it just works because it's all based around authority. And so the bigger your kingdom, maybe I'll fire that one up as well. Where have we got it? We've got Radagar saying, I wish their battle mode was integrated better into kingdoms instead of having to swap games for it. The swapping is sort of not going to change, but they have improved the style of it. They have actually streamlined it a bit better than what it was. It now starts up in the battle. So you still need to have both games. So maybe I'll just show that as well. Because what you need to play Field of Glory Kingdoms, you don't need any other games to play it. There is a way of playing the battles directly in Field of Glory Kingdoms, but if you're wanting to play them in detail, then you need to have Field of Glory 2 Medieval. But you don't need any of the DLCs for Field of Glory 2 Medieval to be able to play Field of Glory Kingdoms. And that's because when you do go into Field of Glory, if I go and just open it up, maybe I'll just do it in Steam and just sort of show what it looks like in through here. If I just go into Field of Glory, because it is confusing the way it sort of does work. But if we go to Field of Glory 2 Medieval, it's one of those games, as I say, you don't need to have Medieval to play Kingdoms. I prefer playing it with Medieval. Like I like the tactical games very, very much, and it's a great little game, this one. So this one here is a turn-based tactical game set in the High Middle Ages from 1040 AD to 1270. But then it's got a whole lot of different DLCs as well. So you've then got DLCs that add time to it. So if we go, for example, the Reconquista, if we have a look at this one in through here, it will then sort of go through and start to talk about, is it going to talk about it? Not really. Didn't go through what you actually get with that one through there. I think that's just going back straight back to the base game. But it's sort of what these other ones do is they add other units to the game. They add time to the game, like swords and scimitars, for example. Come on, give me some information. No, it's not telling us much about it actually. Yeah, no, it's not. This then going straight back into. I think it is. Oh no, this is actually the. This is now. Yeah, it goes through. Essentially, it adds more content to it, but you don't need this content to play Kingdoms. So it's just adds other units, 20 more factions and nations. It does actually say from 1040 to 1270. So, but I think that if they're required for the game, it'll be available for Kingdoms, is my understanding. So if we just go and start up actually I should have left that one open as Steam, just in case we need to come back to it. I'll fire up Kingdoms and just show you how that one does actually then work. Just go and play. It's a simpler game in many ways than what Field of Glory Empires was, which was more the ancient games. Here we go. This one's just been an update. Court expenses. This one has just come in actually, where they've just done some tweaking, like a week ago. Large concentrics. There's just little things. Nothing too much. 103 is interesting because it does actually add in Wales as a minor kingdom and things like this. Welsh culture was there. It was like a march previously, which was sort of like a dukedom. And we'll just go and play it. This one won't take too long to start up. So we've got scenarios back and through here. I love the artwork in this. It's just beautiful. So you've got they've got El Cid, you've got the Grand Campaign, which is the main way of playing it. You've got Manzikert back and through here as well. So 40-turn scenario, ideal for 1 to 3 players. So just a sort of, these are much more limited. This is Fall of the Angevins as well. This one here is featuring France, England, etc. But the Grand Campaign is the full map. So we'll just go and start that one up. Sorry, I'll get to some of these questions in just a minute here. Yeah, so Grimnar is saying, I like History March for scratching my history itches. History March, is that a YouTube channel? I don't know that one. Okay, ready to go. So I wish the battle mode was integrated. Yeah, we did that one. They need to spend more time creating a better game, says Tiger Russ. I'm not sure what you were talking about there. Sorry. Which game? Does anyone know if the dev has finished on Victoria 3? It seems to be no news on that future. I'm not sure about Victoria 3, to be honest. I didn't play much of that one. Clancy is then saying, hey Daz, just curious because I'm updating my monitor, but what size monitor and resolution do you like to play on? I actually play on 1080p, even though my monitor is larger. So I've got like I don't have a 4K size monitor. It's the size underneath that. So I'm not the person to ask, to be honest. I tend to buy my monitors more on price than on anything else. So, but a 4K monitor certainly is where games are heading. So I would probably err that side. But I tend to play on 1080p because that's the best size for my recordings. So it looks better on YouTube. It allows people to even be able to read on a device, like on a phone or something. So that's why my requirements are quite unusual in that sort of sense. It's a fairly big monitor, but it's and I've got a script that I run every time I'm going to do any recording, just to bring it down to 1080p, so away from its native resolution. So I use it all the time on its native resolution, but I play all the games at 1080p, just purely because that's at the moment is the best option for me to play. Okay, so. Yeah, so with this one here, you do actually have options of playing like large areas. Like England, for example, is like sort of starting off in through this other side, where it does actually have like a lot of control over its own territory, but it also has a lot of vassals, and so the vassals will sort of are supposed to come and help it during times of war. Then you've got like smaller groups, like you've got like single little entities like this one through here, like this is sort of like the leftovers. There's a petty kingdom in the Man in the Isles. In this case, the difficulty is a bit higher than England, for example. And this one is actually a leftover of Vikings. So you've got like Viking forces back in through here. Scotland is a smallish area back in through this little area through here where it's got one vassal. So you've got Macbeth, the Red King, is actually in control of this one through here. I liked playing as Scotland simply because it's a good benchmark just for testing the game and getting used to things. It's not overwhelming. In fact, if we go and start playing as this one, just to sort of show how the game actually does function, there's a few things normally at the start that you do need to set up. So it then just goes through. It's a WeGo system as well. It plays the time frame. I won't say year. It's you can see it's turn 1 of year 1054, and the turns can be decided in advance, essentially, with the scenarios. So some of them might be 2 years, I think. Some of them are 1 year. It just depends on the scenario that you're playing. So in this case, we're playing the Grand Campaign, and I think it's every year is a turn. So playing as Scotland, it just goes through sort of what to consider, the bit of history about where you're actually sort of playing. You will actually find that each faction has got its own, like we would have limited things we can build. Like if I go, for example, into my capital, which is just here, and then go into to try to build units, I don't have a real lot that I can actually build at this stage. Like even if I sort of had the requirements, I can get myself mercenary spearmen back in through here. I've got light archers, and I've got sergeants, which essentially are my knights, and then I've got early knights and sergeants back in through there as well. But to recruit those, I need to build up my military, forts and things. So I need to actually have a fort somewhere in my territory to be able to go and grab these units. And so if I can click on these and see what they actually are, like these have got a combat rating of 20. The normal sergeants have only got a combat rating of 11. These are much more lightly armed. So these are sort of like very early knights, the sergeants, whereas these are getting closer to the actual medieval knights. And so we essentially don't really have access to those. They may be part of this group. Yeah, we've got just a couple of sergeants in through here. Then we've got a whole lot of light archers. So our army that we actually have our starting army, and these have actually gone up one level. So these are actually these are fairly good with what they can do. But there's a few different things in the game. I won't go through all the nuance with it, but there's a lot to consider when you start a game. Like, for example, is that going to be a good ratio for us to go and do any combat? And the answer is no, because we don't have any defensive units. We don't have any, we don't have a good balance. All we have is skirmishers in through here, and we have two cavalry. We don't have anything. So we need to then try to get that army built up in a different way. And that may mean even getting rid of some of these light archers. Again, I won't go through all the different detail, but you can see there their range, their levy, their support units. Levy means that they cost you, you can get rid of them easily, and you can get them back easily. So a levy is just something you bring out of your peasantry. So your peasants will then get conscripted into this particular group. But we do want to have a standing army as well, and we have an ability, every faction has got a standard army type rating that where it can sort of bring in a certain number of forces that it doesn't have to then pay maintenance on. And so you want to bring in high quality units to do that one. And so in this case, these are, you can see these are cavalry standing army unit. These are part of our standing army. And so these are something, the standing army is what you eventually want to build up. Now, often what you'll end up having is these regional decisions, and quite often they'll actually start off, we've got recruit local units. And so these are, what will that one do? Region must be owned. There must be a friendly leader with at least one total attack rating. So we can build it there. We also have non-standard units as well. This allows recruitment of archers, rebords, and Scots Highlanders. So getting some Scots Highlanders would be good. So let's just go and play that there. And so we'll play that one in this particular instance and see what we can build up. I won't go through too much detail, but I'll just end the turn here. I mean, there's more things that you need to do when you are playing the game. Your money and these sorts of things, managing those sorts of things is quite important. You've then got your court as well. We've got a few people that are disloyal, which we have to be careful of. There is some randomization in this as well. So it's it's quite interesting. Here we go. So we're in the top areas, which is good, and we just picked up what's called a progress token. And again, there's so many mechanics in this game that that you don't really need to know much about, but when you do, it's the way that you sort of then need to manage it. So this is based on our authority, and we happen to be in the top level of authority. We're getting +2 authority per turn, so we're up to 3 authority. Authority, again, all these mechanics sort of tweak different things. If we have a look and see, we've now got 2 armies in here. We've got the this first army, and we've got the second army, and that did come through with a couple more units into here. And these Scots Highlanders have come in quite effective. They've got they're fairly advanced. So what we'll do is we'll just combine these different units. So we'll just go to the just go and merge. Hang on. Just go and merge that with this first army. So we now actually have a different sort of arrangement back and through here. So we've now got still got our two sergeants. We've now got 2 Scots Highlanders, which are also standing army units. These are range levies. These are just archers, and then these are light archers. So we've got these are bigger groups, and if we press Control, we can then start to see more about what these different groups do. Now these were hastily levied, and these will be as well. So there's different negatives with each one of these as well when we go in. But if we send these in as a force, let's go and move them to one of these neutrals, and so we'll take over Argyle. Now we can see that Argyle has got 14 units. Its garrison and militia defence is 14 units. So let's just move it in. We can sort of easily just move into these sorts of territories. We can't do it easily against these named areas. It's only the sort of the little randoms that we can sort of do this with. Let's just right click. So our full army will now move across. We've got a good general through here. This is he's got a bonus of 2 for his attack and a bonus of 2 for defence. But we'll just move across now and end our turn again. And then we'll get into combat, basically. Now, again, there's a whole lot of nuance about how this is then played out. So what we can do is we can either... The game has already played this one out for us. There's been an auto battle happen. We don't have to accept the results of that auto battle. We can actually go and export the battle. And so this is the instance where this game then takes it away from kingdoms and into medieval. So if we go and do that, or we can just go and view the battle and just see what actually happened, to see how the game itself plays it out. I'll see if I can do both actually. So if I export this one out, And what happens now is it just says, do you want to launch Field of Glory 2 Medieval? So if you've got it in your system, you'll have that option. It then loads in the other game, which is a bit sort of, I mean, this is where it gets a bit clunky, but they have streamlined this aspect a lot. So previously you'd have to go in and actually find where the battle was and then load it all in. But they have actually made this a little bit more clean. So we can play the battle out in Field of Glory 2 Medieval if we wanted to. Which, and what it'll do is, when it comes into this game, it sets up a random map. It knows that we're going into mountainous terrain, so we're fighting in the mountains. So it will build a mountainous terrain for us, and it will then sort of set up our forces. And what it will try to do is it'll make use of the forces that we've got. So we'll find that we've got groups of sergeants. We'll have some Highlanders as well. We may have more than just the 2 that it says. It tries to sort of figure out what to do with those, and we're going to have then the different types of archers and that as well. You can see there that we've got a lot more in this instance than what we had at the start in terms of our grouping. Those medium archers are in here as well. These are full-on archers. These are not skirmishers like we see from the other ones. They're the light archers. So if we sort of zoom back out, that's our mountain. This is our mountain pass. So we actually now have to fight our way through a mountain pass. So this is where the game, I love this because I really enjoy this aspect. There's our Commander-in-Chief, Rudrari McKinnon. That was the one that we saw there before. Commander-in-Chief back in through there. Sometimes you'll have options to be able to bring in another leader. We've got another leader in through here as well. But these are just in control of the sergeants. So sergeants are just our basic cavalry. And we can just rearrange the way that these look. We've then got the Highlanders, archers, and then we've got more Highlanders. So even though we only had 2 groups of Highlanders, the game has given us 3 in this instance. But let's not bother with this. We'll just go back out. But this one, I love this because you can then play using the tabletop rules from Field of Glory. And so we'll quit that game. And we'll just go back to the other one. And we should be able to just load up before the battle. If I can find it. Where have I put it? There it is. But it now starts directly in the fight, which I think is a really good move. And then when you finish the fight, you'll then ask you to go back to kingdoms, and you then sort of go and do it. If we just go and load in the game. So we've got the pre-battle turn to Scotland. So we can actually just load that one straight in. I don't know what that is there. Bug report. Oh, there we go. I've never seen that one before. Bug report with a rat. We'll load this one in. This one should get us back to the pre-battle. So that's a more intricate way of playing out the battles, which is good. So we load her in. Yeah, so we're back to where we were with this fight. So that we did the export battle, but if we go and view the battle, the system inside the game as well is very, very well thought out. It's very, very clean. And so it's us down the bottom here fighting the Celtic independence, and I'll just go and start the battle. And this is already. It's already played this. We're just seeing the results of it. This is just a graphical way for us to do it. It goes through a few different phases. So we've got like a ranged phase. Anything with a cross on it is going to be a target of any of the highlighted areas. So all of these are going to be targeted by the archers from our side, and they've got a lot of archers on their side as well. By the way, you'll notice that this is we're going into Argyle. The terrain is mountainous, which means we only have a frontage of 6 in through here. If in the plains, we'd be going with much, much wider. But in this case, it's a much more compressed group that comes in. They get an extra defense of 2, which is actually fairly big. So it's easier to defend in this sort of terrain. Just go and play. Now, we took a little bit of a beating there, but hardly anything else. But we've completely exhausted the enemy. So we've sort of smashed them with our ranged attacks. We now go into the actual gameplay. Now it's set up in 2 lines, and we've got some reserves in through here as well. But essentially the first line is your combat line, and then and they've got their combat line through there. The second one is the support, and they support the front line troop. And you'll notice that we've got like some light archers on the side, and they've got peasant militia. These guys will struggle, I think, against these sort of guys. But we've exhausted these, so we should smash through most of this fairly readily. So we just now go through. It just goes through element by element. In this case, we've got they've got Scottish mercenary Highlanders fighting against our Scots Highlanders. Because of our general, we get a couple of extra rolls, and we take the best one. Oh, there we go. That was that one through there. We had a slight win there. So we've sort of damaged them slightly. And so these are essentially Highlanders versus Highlanders. Go to the next one. This is now going to be our cavalry, smashing in against some light javelinmen. And we smashed them completely. And we just continue on. Actually, we did win that one. We destroyed those peasants. Smashed these with our Highlanders. Smash those because these were exhausted after the archery. So we've smashed the whole front line. So essentially, we've now done that one. We now have won this particular battle because we've won some, fairly resoundingly. So we now go into a pursuit phase, and it then sort of wipes them out. And then basically we've won the battle at that point. So we can then just sort of go and view the report. And so the report is that we've taken a little bit of damage in through here, but everything else is pretty good. Wiped out most of their forces. There's still some that sort of did manage to make it away. If they had somewhere to go to, they would then sort of escape. And we now essentially, the game is still playing out its turn. But at that instance, there's now a force inside the castle in that province. And we may now need to besiege that particular province. Just let them go through. It's now the AI is now just getting its next turn sorted out. All right. Yeah, so we've now got our force is now besieging this particular group. But that's just an example of the way combat sort of does work there. So I won't play any more of that. But it's pretty cool the way it does actually work. It's a really nice little system. Where do we get up to? So Brian was then saying best monitor is a Samsung 49-inch Odyssey G9. I've got no idea. Tigerus is saying it looks like game dev is hitting a decline at the moment across the board. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's hard. It's a hard time for them. Mariners then saying Xenonauts 2 is doing fine. Actually, might actually leave early access this year. Yeah, I've been looking at the development of Xenonauts. No major updates just yet, but the next one, I'm not sure when the next one does come, but hopefully not too far away. Viewing Games are saying to Tiger Ross, your paradox model of pumping out DLCs that should have been included in the main game is dying out. I'm fine with it. Indie devs are thriving because of 3A studios making the same mistakes. Well, the Solum Infernum guys are an indie dev group. So there are instances where devs are doing it hard, are doing it really quite tough. Tiger Ross is saying, love Hooded Horse games. They do everything so well. They do, actually. They really are amazing. And Tiger Ross is saying to Viewing Games, I hope so. I always feel ripped off with Paradox games. Yeah, look, certain games, so I know what you mean with the bloat from DLC. But like Age of Wonders, even though it's a Paradox game, I've got faith that it won't end up that way with that particular game, because Triumph Studios is really very much in control of the direction of that game. So Eddie Ball Games saying, hi days late to the party. Per the Kingdom Dungeon and Hero game, the random map generator is in beta. The dev has been working on its release. Hopes. Okay. So we need to set up the beta for that one, which I didn't do. Brian's then saying, I have Samsung 49. There we go. And Clancy's then saying, I might have to pick this one up. It looks a really good game. Do you have a Let's Play for it? I will be doing a live stream, which... and I have been doing some starts for it because the start can be we've played very superficially here, but there's so many areas in this game. Every button that you see through here is not just an indicator of whatever it might be, like money in this case, but there's often a whole game mechanic sitting underneath that you've then got to manage. So like each of these buttons gives you different things to consider as well. Like all we've done at this point in time is just looked at military and just with the exporting of the battles. It's a very, very good game, the way it does it work out, but there's so much involved in it. Like if we go into here, for example, you've got like a court system back into here. Nowhere near as intricate as Crusader Kings, so just to put that out there. So it's nowhere near as intricate as that, but it is interesting because you then do have like different characters in his court will be disloyal, and that will then lead to other things as well. So the court system is, as I said before, not deep, but it's certainly there. You've got things, for example, like the way you rise through the game, through this mechanic of authority. So there's your government and authority. So at the moment we're a stable petty kingdom. If we end up becoming unstable, we end up going down there where we end up with getting all these different penalties, or we can go and become more stable through authority. The authority is the important thing through here, and we then end up getting some benefits in through here if we start to become ascending. If we get to that point and become an ascending petty kingdom, we can then ascend even further and become a young kingdom. And you can see there from an ascending petty kingdom, we can skip over where we were and go straight back into unstable petty kingdom. So this is quite interesting the way it sort of does work. So from this petty kingdom, we can go either all the way back through from unstable through to fragmented, where we start to break up, through to the fragmented into a stable duchy back and through here. So we end up losing, so we just become like a duchy, an unstable duchy, fragmented duchy, and then we go back into a more mayor. So we end up, there's a massive range of different things through here. Young kingdom, stable kingdom, ascending kingdom, monarchy, level 3 now. So we become like almost like an empire in this instance, and then we end up with the actual empire itself, a young unruly empire, a stable empire. So there's all these different aspects to the game, all these different states that you can end up being with your government, and that's why you can play as any size. I think there was a question there I saw. Tenor is saying, is it possible to start as a minor vassal with 1 or 2 provinces and build an empire in Field of Glory? Yes, you can do that. It's not easy to do that. Like if we started off, for example, as Galloway, we could actually ultimately, or even things like, for example, the Vikings down through here, we could try, for example, if you played as, well, actually, probably one of the ones that you could do that with would be to play as one of the Irish kingdoms and then try to take over Ireland. That could be a good little mini game for yourself, like to just play as one of these, because none of these are all that powerful. So you could sort of start off in through here. The trouble with playing as groups like Ireland is that you're not playing with knights. You're playing with essentially peasant stock, and like they're not really good at fighting. It's a difficult. They're not warriors. Maybe if you played as the Man in the Isles, at least you then had the you'd then at least have Viking forces to be able to then use like the remnants of Viking forces. I don't think that these guys have the Viking. Maybe they do. There's ways of actually getting other sources as well, but I won't go through in too much detail, but there's a lot you can do with this game. You can see when I open this one up, we end up with a whole other screen down the bottom here of managing the provinces as well. Like it's a very, very deep game, incredibly deep. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We'll just move back out. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Exit the game there. But it is pretty cool the way it does work. Right. So Clancy's saying I might have to pick this up. It looks like a really good game. Do I have a Let's Play for it? Yes. Yeah, there is. So I've done a few. I try to sort of find the way to approach the games at the start. The way I just played it then, you don't really want to play that way because your economy is going to be ultimately not looked at very thoroughly. So you do need to consider your economy in that game as well. But there's certainly at the start, you can play relatively quickly to get a bit of a start with that one. But as I say, I'll be doing a lot more content on that over the coming weeks and months, essentially. I'll sort of be following what Slytherin is doing with their with those little videos, and then sort of trying to sort of theme my streams around those videos to a degree. All right. I think we've sort of covered everything we needed to cover, so I think we might just do the marble run. So we've again got the giveaway of Gladius to give away. If you already have it, still just join in with marble run, and if you don't want the game, that's fine. I can then give it away another time. So anyway, I'll just get marbles set up. What we need to do is we need to get you guys with your where are we up to? So I just need to get in Nightbot, and that way you guys can start to do it while I get everything else set up. So if we just go in and log in, giveaways, keyword will just be win. So if you can just type in win in the chat, you'll be then in the running for the to play in the marbles. So even if you've got the game, don't worry about it. You don't have to accept it, but you might as well be part of the marble run. It's always good fun. Sublime text. Delete those. Get that one ready, and we'll just get marble run set up. Yeah, we're starting to get a few people now typing in win. Here we go. Just going to continue. All right, so we'll set the users up. I'll just let you guys enter your names for a little bit longer. Right, guys. I know. Although if history is any indication, lose is more accurate than win. Few other ones in here that I haven't seen before. I'll have to. I keep on meaning to come back in and just trying to figure out what's going on with the Grand Prix aspect of the scoring, and I can't find where I've actually set it all up. I think it's in here. Yeah, I'm not sure. All right. Okay. Well, I'll get the names now. So Alt tab our way through. All right. So we'll grab these names. So good luck, everyone. There we go. Voodoo Dog was the last one in there. Control C. Only 15 today, so not too many. Just go to find, or just go replace all. And we'll just get the one at the top there set up. All right, so we've got 15 in it, so it's good odds for this one here. Back to Marble Run. I'll just set the names up. Okay, we'll bring those in. That's good. We'll finish that one and go back across to Grand Prix. Play 3 maps. Bots. 15 races. Hope you guys don't mind being called bots. That's what we've done. We've just named the bots. So we've got the bots all now named. Let's go and autofill. There we go. So we've got all about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, up to about 3. So Hot Cold Masterpiece is the first one. Let's get into it. Good luck, everyone. Who will win? Okay, we get started. Some have a bit of oh, gee, Hugh made a massive move to the bottom, but it looks like Mike might be the first one out. No, Hugh David is the first one out. First one across. No, Mike is into the into this chamber through here. They're going to have to make their way through. Actually, Voodoo Dog has now hit the lead with Garatian, John Hole coming back through. Some of these may get thrown out, so we'll just have a bit of a look and see. Yeah, they're actually, everyone's surviving that, which is pretty cool. Voodoo Dog does have a bit of a lead now, moving down into the bottom sections of this particular one. John Hole coming in second, but anything can happen in this race. People can be thrown right out. So the first one up will be Voodoo Dog. We've got Hugh David on the other side. Oh, Voodoo Dog's gone. There we go. So Voodoo Dog is out. Anything can happen. It looks like we've got Hugh David now in the lead at this point in time. Coming back around. So Voodoo Dog did get ripped off there. And now in this very, very slow loop as they come around. Is it bike racks in the front? I think it might be. Yeah, we've got bike racks and Hugh David in that first little grouping. Bubo is on his own at the back there. These will drop off at some point. Should be a hole in the bottom here somewhere. He's going to be the first one out. There we go. Bike racks, Hugh David, straight through the side there. Just go to the bottom. Actually, Hugh David is the winner. So Hugh gets through. Bubo, bike racks comes in third, and here comes everyone else. So everyone's now just coming through. So Hugh David gets to 20 points, and then sort of diminishing points from there. I think Bubo gets 15. I think the way it works, bike racks I think gets 12. Oh, CB missed out. Didn't make it. Still got a few more. We've got Bubicus coming. And I think it's... Oh, Bubicus didn't make it either. So Hugh David, congratulations. That was the... you've got the first of the wins in through here. Just got the final results. Now, this is historic, which is not what we want. What we want is just the Grand Prix from today. So this is the scoring for today. So we've got Hugh David, Bubo, Bike Racks in through there. The 3 did not finish from Voodoo Dog, Bubicus and CB. Everyone else got some points in through there. So that's the point allocation at this point in time. If you do come in 10th, like Garatian did, you do get 10 points. So coming in 10th is actually not too bad. So next map. That's where we currently are. CB is saying right at the end too, yeah, you missed out on a few points there. Okay, so good luck again for the race number 2. Okay, Tiger Russ, got John Hole, Dying Noob, coming through now into this portion. Just watch what happens in here. Coming through. This looks like a pretty cool one, actually. Straight around. Some are being zapped. Tiger Russ is certainly out in the lead here. Back through this portion. Down through the loop. I don't think anyone's died yet. Tiger Ross is now sort of dropped behind. It looks like John Hole's now out in front. Dying Noob and Bubo are coming in there as well. Everyone's taken the one side except for Gratian, who's gone the other way. And round we go. Yeah, John Hole out in front. And looped our way through. Okay, Bubo is, I'll now just leave all those and we'll just go to the leaders again. So Bubo is the first one through and did make it through. John Hole as well, Tiny Mutant Squid. Now we may lose some here. Bike Racks, is Bike Racks okay? No, Dying Noob is gone. Bike Racks are still in the game. I thought Bike Racks actually dropped. There goes Tiger Russ, just missed. And these guys are bouncing around all over the place. Here we go, here's the winner. So CB was the first one, Tiny Mutant Squid, and then Radigar. Bike Racks finished as well. So we're getting everyone else sort of finishing off the race right now. Bouncing off that one and across to the finish line. Mike dropped out, unfortunately. So, all right, final results there again. Again, we don't take any notice of the ChatTactic area. We take notice of Grand Prix. So Hugh David actually then got the another 10 points. So that's actually put him out to 30 points now, which is a long way ahead. So Bubo is coming through there. So this final race, Hugh David is certainly in the box seat at this point in time. The others aren't too far behind. CB won that last one. So essentially you've got 10, like within 10 points in through here. So that's our leader group. All right, let's go to the final race. Good luck. Gratian, so never got 10th place before for the 10 points. Yeah, it's a useful little extra. Round we go. Through this loop and through here. Don't know if there's any other traps on the way through with this one. It looks like it's just pretty much a standard run all the way through here. Nothing tricky about all this stuff. What else is coming up? That's where the drama will happen. I think it's on both sides. Yes, it is. That will then throw them off. So there will be people dying in that phase. So CB is out in front, followed by Chris. But this is where all the action will then take place once they get up to here. I don't know where the victory is. I'll have to follow whoever makes it past these areas here. Whoever the first one is, we'll just follow them through and see where the victory actually is. Okay, so they're still going down. Okay, CB is the first one through into the bottom area. Chris is coming through. Dying Noob goes around the outside. Takes the lead with, oh, actually Mike's now just taken the lead as well. John Hole has now taken that, has come up there as well. Up through this loop. And this will be where it gets interesting. So if anyone makes it through, Dying Noob is out in front, taking the other side, along with Mike. Will they make it through this? No, they won't. Dying Noob is gone. Voodoo Dog has made it through. Mike has made it through. Yep, so Dying Noob got kicked off. So Voodoo Dog looks to be the one in front here. Let's press number 1. We'll just follow Voodoo Dog through and just see if he gets the victory. So through inside this loopy area. I'm not sure if that's where the victory is actually. Yeah, Voodoo Dog did win. Okay, the bottom there is the victory. So Voodoo Dog is the first one through. Bike Racks is number 2. CB finished well. Actually, that's 3rd place. Bubo 4th. Rocky Ayers 5th. Chris 6th. Mike 7th. Gratian 8th. Tiny Mutant Squid got the 10. No, John Hole got the 10 points. And we're just waiting on Hugh now to finish. There we are. So Voodoo Dog wins this final one. We'll just check and see the final results. So if we just go back to, well, actually what we'll do is we'll now just finish the Grand Prix and see who won. All right, so Dying Noob is saying living up to my name. Absolutely. Okay, coming in 3rd was Hugh David. So he came in 3rd place there. Boobo coming in 2nd. And our winner is Bike Racks. There we go. Bike Racks with the win. We'll just double check the scores. So Bike Racks ended up with 37 points. Boobo 33. Hugh David 32. So there was a few that got over the 32, the 30 points in through there. So yeah, good finish. So congratulations, Bike Racks. So what I'll do is I'll get you to email me if you could, please. And to daz@daztactic.com, and I'll then send you through the key for Gladius. So yeah, that was a lot of effort. It was. Congratulations on that one through there. So actually, I'm actually a bit concerned. There's no wins there. That should have been a win. I think I've got my scores wrong. Already going Gladius. I think, oh God, I don't know how I can do this. I'm looking at the numbers. Oh, that's right. No, 20 points. Yeah, no, that's okay. It can be done. Yeah, okay. Look, so if you already own Gladius, look, if you want it to give away to somebody else, that's fine. Or if you want me to just put it back in the rack for next time, that's fine as well. Hi, Muzzle Paint. How you going? So 2nd or 3rd can take it. What I'll do is I'll put it back in the prize pool because I'm sort of running a bit short on prizes. So I'll throw it back in the prize pool and we'll give it away another time. If that's okay. Thanks, guys. I'll leave it there. I'll catch you next week, and if not before, I'll be playing still some more Distant Worlds over on Twitch. Having a hard time against the Gizarians in that one. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.